I've not often used the word neuroception with young people, but the concept is exactly what we explore. And so learning about these concepts in regard to Sunny is learning about them, period. So they apply across the board. They apply to humans. And by the way, we used to have young people come out and take Sunny's heart rate. We'd do it.
Oh,
We would do it by feel. Every now and then we'd do it with a stethoscope. He was up for it. This was his calling. This is what this dog loved to do, and he did it really well. He's got a presence. He's got something special about him. But we would take his heart rate and we'd feel where his heart was. We would count his heart rate. We would get human heart rate skyrocket really quick, and we would do breathing exercises that brought it down. We would talk about what would his heart rate need to be, what would it get to, what would the point be where we would declare him unable to focus, unable to hear, unable to learn, unable to respond to me if I was using his name and saying, Sonny, you need to come over here, it's safer over here. We work out that there was heart rates and zones that we could then correlate directly to human zones. And we would have 10-year-old students standing at the door of the classroom, looking at their watch, checking their pulse after these workshops and saying, I'll be in about 40 seconds. I'm still on 115. And they knew they needed to be between 60 and 80 to come back into the room because that enabled them to be in an environment that felt safe for everyone and in an environment where they could engage in dialogue and listen and focus and be on task. So they'd call it ready to learn. I'll be ready to learn in 40 seconds. And this all came from doing it with Sonny, and saying, what's the cap? What does his heart rate get to? And then he's outside of his threshold of being ready to learn or ready to focus or engage. And what's too low for Sonny? What would be unhealthy for him to be? And then we'd talk about, well, if he was just laying around all day, probably not healthy for him. His muscles will become weak. He'll be potentially not active in the brain. And so we've explored all of these concepts in relation to a dog first, and they're very easy to embed in the human context. The beauty of this is, when you talk about mirror, these concepts apply across the board. You know, it's it's just such a fantastic opportunity through connection with a dog to engage in learning this